Hey everyone, welcome to week number 4 of the Apex Point Racing League Pro Series. This week we're on Fuji circuit. It's a track that I think a lot of people who have played Gran Turismo for a long time will be quite familiar with, quite a staple in the series, but not an easy track. I definitely have struggled in the past with the back section of the track, and yeah, had to spend a bit of time sort of getting that right, but it's a track that I know, so I wasn't too concerned about this one. So not much has changed this week. Still running the same car, same livery, much of the same, so nothing really much to showcase for the start. So the race is 28 laps. You have to use the medium tyres, but you can use any tyre you like, so softs and hards. In testing, the fuel tank lasted about 14 laps for my car, so I'd be running sort of a one-stopper. Mediums would last about that full fuel tank, so it was an ideal strat just to go 14 laps on mediums, 14 laps on mediums, and that would get you to the end of the race. They do get quite worn out though, which is just something to manage. It's another track where the Porsche is just so dominant because of how great the tyres can be. But in saying that, there is a massive straight which I'm just coming onto here, which it's not so great at. It does struggle toward that top end. It does have good acceleration, so coming out of the corners it's okay, but yeah, getting to that top end it does struggle a little bit, and you'll see in the race that comes into play a little bit. So looking at the times, I've just set a 38.7, so this is in the practice session, so I'm about 3-4 tenths off the fastest time. I think in my own practice sessions I was running about mid 38s, and that's the fastest I could possibly do, so not a bad time, but definitely not at that top pace level, just slightly off it. But as we've seen this season in the races, it's not necessarily about speed, it's just about how consistent you can be, so not too concerned at the moment about my pace. So yeah, just have to try and avoid any mistakes. There's a couple of corners which I'll point out which can be very prone to penalties, and they are quite brutal, so I'll cover those in the qualifying lap, which is coming up here. So entering into the qualifying, starting the lap, as I mentioned last week, I always turn the HUD off so I can concentrate and not be distracted. So coming to turn 1, it's quite a tricky corner. You've got to brake at quite a precise point and get it turned in. If you go wide onto that left AstroTurf, you just basically lose all traction and you spin out. Happens to me quite a lot in the practice, so have to avoid that. So it is a difficult corner. Turn 3, I believe it is. That one's a corner prone to penalties. You have to try and get as much curb as you can on the left, but avoid getting too much, or you'll get about a 1.5 second penalty. So coming around here, turn 4 and 5 onto turn number 6. This is another corner which is quite tricky to get right. You have to try and get the car to track wide without going off too much, because you can also lose traction quite a lot onto that painted surface and really just ruins your speed and momentum. Coming here, this corner is not too bad, but it is easy to get a penalty. You have to scrub a lot of speed and you go quite slow. If you turn in too early, you'll just get too much curb and get a penalty. So easy corner to get wrong. And this is the start of the very tricky section. There's a lot of awkward corners here which have very late apexes. As you can see, the lines I'm taking, I'm not sort of hugging the inside. I'm sort of waiting, being patient, and then turning in. Get a little bit wrong that time just because it's qualifying. I was a little bit nervous about getting wide and keeping my speed up. Coming to the last corner, probably the most important corner of the lap. You have to try and apex as late as you can, but also keep your speed up so that you get a really good run into the straight. And coming here, I didn't feel like my lap was that quick. It's a couple corners I could have cut a bit more, and as you can see, I do a 39.3, which not the greatest. As you could see, I was in the qualifying, I was about half a second up, and yeah, that puts me currently on 5th, and everybody else has actually finished their lap. So yeah, despite not being the best lap, put it on 5th position, so pretty happy with that start. I believe that was the same as the first race. I think it was 5th or 6th. So yeah, not a bad result. As I spend a bit of time here in the paddock, just trying to do a donut. This car does not donut. It's yeah, as I say, I do get it going eventually. It does not like to spin. So looking at my starting position in 5th, Badge actually managed to qualify 7th, had a decent qualifying, but unfortunately Corbin, not quite sure what happened to him, so he's down to 13th. Really unfortunate qualifying for him. So yeah, he'll be starting from the back. He is quick, he was quicker than me this race, so yeah, he'll be trying to fight his way back through the pack. Yeah, so starting on 5th, not the worst start. I was pretty happy with that. But turn 1, I was very worried about getting right. It's very easy to go too quick into there and take someone out, but it's also easy to go too slow. I've got Breezy in behind me. I don't know what happened to him this qualifying, but he had a rough qualifying, putting him down on 6. He's usually up the top 2. So starting at 6, I was a little bit worried about him behind me, but coming out of the race, as I said, this turn I just wanted to try and get right, but also not take out the guys in front of me. And played it a little bit safe. I scrubbed a bit of speed here behind Snoopy, and Breezy just decides that he sees the opening up the inside and wants to take it, so goes up the inside, and unfortunately I've lost a position on the first corner. Luckily I was able to stop Badge in his tracks and not let him take a position, but yeah, lost a position, so not the greatest start, but it's a long race and anything can happen, so happy to tuck in behind him here. This corner here, that one was really the problem with this track, is because you're turning on such a I guess you're turning for quite a long time at a decent speed, and you can hear my tyres squealing through that entire turn, and that just chews the tyres. You'll see throughout the race the left side and especially the front left get pretty worn out throughout the race. So yeah, definitely a corner to manage. I actually do try a bit of tyre saving in that lap, but getting ahead of myself, that's later in the race. So yeah, sitting in behind Breezy. So you got Bidgen behind me. He's sort of following along. I'm not too concerned at the moment. I'm sort of holding pace and trying to just get through the lap. This point of the race, everybody's sort of bunched up together, and yeah, it's easy to lose positions, but it's also easy just to make some mistakes, and yeah, your race can be ruined. So yeah, try not to make any glaring mistakes. Actually get a really good run out of that corner, so yeah, sort of closer to 5th than I'm to 7th at the moment, so not too concerned here. So managed to sort of hold position here for end of lap 1 onto the start of lap 2. And yeah, it's, as I said before, it's just about trying to manage pace and trying to avoid mistakes. And as we come here down to the start of lap 3, just on the exit of turn 1, unfortunately Badge behind me, you're going to see the gap open up and he's going to lose all his positions. He actually spins, and we'll watch here what happened to him. Just gets, as I mentioned in the qualifying, that exit curb straight into the wall and has to wait for everybody to pass. So good on him for just waiting and not rejoining into the traffic, and yeah, just unfortunate for him, and unfortunately he's gonna have another mare as you come out into turn number 3 and just gets a bit too much slide, and yeah, completely goes. So really unfortunate for him. Two sort of spins in one go. I think he had dirty tyres from that previous spin, and yeah, unfortunately he's gone sideways. So that's his race done. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to catch back up. As we come here, turn number 6, Breezy in front is just going to get a little bit too much exit curb and loses the car, just goes sliding. So as we watch here, he just gets a bit too much exit curb and the car just goes flying off to the side. It's very easy to do, and once you get going, you can't stop. So unfortunately, he's going to spin, and I've regained my position 5. As you see here, I'm in a walk-up position. I'm 1.5 seconds behind Snoopy, and I'm 2 seconds in front of Rex. So coming down the straight, I'm not going to get any slipstream unless I have a really good exit. But unlikely, these guys in the front are really quick and really consistent. So as you can see, exiting onto the straight, 1.5 increasing gap to the front. So I've got no slip, and they're just going to pull away because they've got the slip and I don't. So unfortunately losing time to them, and it's going to be difficult for me to catch back up to them. And the front pack, I actually didn't mention as well, Bummy Cakes is back in the league. He's missed the first 2 rounds. He was actually the pro champion last season, a very quick control player as well. Well, I say as well as if I am. He's a very quick control player. one of the best in the league. So it's good to see him back in the lobby, but at the same time, it's a bit dreadful to see him because you know that you're going to have a hard time trying to finish well. So we'll just have to see how he goes this race. As we jump forward here to lap number 6, a few bit of movement up in front, but the gap has stayed about the same. So maintaining my position, I'm actually doing okay with my pace. As Bowers comes into the pits, unfortunately he started on the softs. He didn't realise he wasn't on the mediums, so he's started on the softs, and lap number 7, or end of 6, he's had to come in, and unfortunately that's probably taken him out of contention for the win. He was doing really well, but yeah, it's an unfortunate thing to happen. I don't think he could fuel save his way to the end of the race on mediums, so he'll probably be doing a two-stopper, 2 stops on softs and one of the mediums, but as I said, really unfortunate, and I guess we can see where he ends up, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make his way back from that one. So up into 4th, haven't really done much. I've gained 2 positions by just doing nothing and driving, so yeah, it's a little bit lucky for me so far, but we'll just see what happens. As we're coming here to lap number 9, Bummy Cakes is going to come into the pits, and he is not on the wrong tyre, he's just in the AMG, which as an FR car completely chews the fronts, especially on this track. As you can see, my tyres down the bottom, my left side is pretty evenly worn, my front's a little bit more worn, but the left side compared to the right is just such a stark difference. And yeah, as you can see, I jumped to lap number 12, those tyres are pretty much almost dead. And coming here into this corner, unfortunately I'm just going to go a little bit too narrow, as you see, just a little bit onto that painted surface, and I'm going to pick up myself a 1-second penalty. So very, very minor mistake. I don't think I actually gained much time, but unfortunately going to get a penalty, which is the first mistake of the race for me. So I serve it here, and I've got a decent gap, 5 seconds to Rex, but the problem with this penalty zone is that you're so far down or you're not so far down the straight, and you lose all your speed and momentum that you essentially lose like 3.5 seconds from doing that. As you can see here, the end of the straight, and we'll just watch that gap tick down. As I got a little bit deep into turn 1, just misjudged my speed. So yeah, down the end of that straight, Rex is 2.6 seconds behind me now, which yeah, that's just shows you the problem with the penalty zone being where it is. You just lose so much speed and all your momentum down the straight, and you lose so much time. So it's one of the worst, I think, penalty zones in the game, to be honest, for positioning. It just completely kills your momentum, and yeah, unfortunately just paid the price there for such a minor mistake. I don't think there was much in it, but yeah, unfortunately I did make that mistake, so we'll just have to live with it. And the awkward thing with where I've served that penalty is I'm not actually far enough through the race that I can just pit. Usually with a penalty like that, you want to pit to minimize your time loss, because if I just jump in the pits, then I don't lose as much time, because I don't have to do the entire straight. But unfortunately, being 12 laps, I wouldn't be able to stretch the fuel tank out to 16 laps without completely compromising my race. So just have to live with it and go through the rest of that lap. Let's jump here into lap number 14. As you can see, the front left is almost dead completely. I'm really struggling around this corner here. So coming into the pits this lap, I'm up into second. A few people have already pit. So yeah, coming into the pits, I'll be chucking on a fresh set of mediums, filling the car up. There was this weird little bug here where the game told you that, although I've basically completed half race distance, as you can see here, used half my fuel, the game seems to think that I need a little bit more fuel. Usually I wouldn't be bothered, but because I've used exactly 50% fuel, I was a little bit concerned about fuel for the end of the race, so I decided to put in just a little splash, so not too much. But as you'll see here, that little splash of fuel ends up costing me quite a bit. So coming out of the pits here, Rex has actually jumped me in the pits, so he didn't put any fuel on. And that little bit of fuel, that time, just gave him that extra boost, and he's gone up in front of me. So unfortunate that I'm behind him now, so I'll have to try and get past him. But I know I'm quick. I was pulling a gap time every single time throughout the race. As I come here onto turn number 9, I believe it is. I'm just going to cut that corner a little bit too much, and unfortunately I'm going to pick up another penalty, second penalty of the race. And coming here, I actually serve it on the same lap, so yeah, unfortunately I'm going to not have a great bit of momentum coming down the straight, and my life just got a lot harder to try and catch up to Rex as I jumped to the left there, just to forget last minute to jump up to the side. And coming here to the exit of the pits, Bretto's actually going to go past me. So my penalty, he was actually behind Rex before my pit. So unfortunately, my penalty has caused me to lose another spot. So I'm in behind Bretto, and I've got to try and catch up to the back of him. But fortunately, as you can see at the end of the lap, I've actually completely caught up to the back of him. So I'm obviously quicker than him around the track. The cold tyres he has might be playing a factor in there, but I know I'm quicker. So at this point, I really just got my head down, and I was thinking that I've just got to try and pass these two guys and push as far forward as I can. So I wasn't really too worried about tyre saving at this point. I was just thinking I need to get past them, because if I don't, they'll hold me up, I felt. So coming here just a little bit further into the lap, I get a really good run out of turn 6 onto turn 7, and right up the back of him. And so I'm thinking in my head right now, the hairpin is where I'm going to do it if he doesn't defend the inside, which it looks like he's going to, but then he just feints off to the left and completely leaves the inside open. I brake a little bit deeper than him, and I've made it through. So jump straight to the apex here to prevent the switchback onto me, and yeah, I've made the move up into P5. So yeah, that one was not too difficult to do. As I said, he opened the inside and let me through. So coming here, lap number 19, I'm right up behind Rex now. So I've got a really good run here out of the last turn, and I'm right up behind him. And this car has a lot more speed than that Porsche, so it was pretty easy just to climb up onto the back of him here. And in my head now, I'm thinking turn 1. If he doesn't defend the inside, I'll go for the move on turn 1, which he doesn't go for any defense. He just leaves it open. So before the braking point, I'm even in front of him, and brake at the right time, park it on the apex, and I've made it up through into P number 4. So yeah, P4, back where I sort of was before all the pits were going on. But as you can see in front, I've got a 10-second gap now to the guys in front. I was about 2 or 3 seconds behind them, and yeah, just those penalties, the fuel, everything sort of put me back. As you jump here onto lap number 21, the gap is 7 seconds, but as you can see, Bummy's actually jumped into the pit. So as you remember before, he struggled with the tyres at the first stint, so he's unfortunately going to pit, and I'm up into P3. So if I can hold this out, I've guaranteed myself a podium, which yeah, would be a really good result for this race. And hopefully I can yeah, keep this momentum going. As you can see, the gap to Rex is 1.7 seconds. So throughout the lap, I'm just going to try and maintain that gap. As you can see here on this corner, I'm just sort of trying to manage my tyres. I'm not trying to oversteer. I'm just trying to nurse them so that they have the best life they can at the end of the race. I used them up quite a bit earlier on, trying to get those overtakes done. So now I'm just trying to nurse them to get to the end of the race without completely dying. The worst thing that could happen is I get to the end of the race and my tyres are dead and Rex passes because he's got better tyres, and that Porsche I know will have better tyres at the end of the race. So I was really conscious about trying to nurse them. As I come here, another lap onto turn number 4. As you can see, I'm not going through their full throttle. I'm lifting a lot earlier. I'm not turning as much. I'm just trying to reduce that tyre squeal, which is what is wearing the tyres down. So every lap I'm doing that. I'm trying to just nurse these left tyres because they're the ones that wear out, especially the fronts. So yeah, just trying to now keep the gap. As you can see, the gap is actually stagnating, if not growing. So pretty comfortable at the moment with my pace. I'm maintaining a gap, and at this point, I wasn't really I didn't think I'd be able to gain enough of a ground to catch the leaders in front. So I was pretty happy just to maintain this pace and hold on to a P3. And as we come here to lap number 26, it's going to be a bit of a disaster. As you can see on the track map, there's someone who's just gone spinning around. And as we look here, it's actually Bretto who does it. On the exit of the last turn, actually it's a little bit of a twitch, loses it and completely spins around and reverses back here just to try and regain it, but unfortunately drives straight back onto the racing line, and it didn't look like any contact was made, but as you can see here, Corbin actually ended up with damage on the front left. It looked like there was no contact, but a bit of an unfortunate moment there for Corbin. He didn't really have anywhere to go. He sort of veered off as much as he could, and I think it was a very bad rejoin attempt from Bretto. He knew he screwed up. And said so in the post race, but yeah, just very bad way to come back onto the tracks, right into people's path. I understand that you want to try and minimise your time loss, and he was having a good race in P5, but yeah, you got to be a bit more conscious of people on the track, and unfortunately that's cost Corbin a position. Hopefully he can maintain it to the end of the race, but he was doing pretty well up from P3. He was in P13. He was in P6 before that, and yeah, he was having a really good race. So unfortunate just to lose a position, but he still has a good result regardless of that. So coming around to the last lap, that gap to Rex is still about 2.3 seconds, so I'm pretty happy that I've kept my gap to him. I haven't really been pushing too hard. I've just been sort of, as I said, nursing these tyres and trying to bring it home. The fronts, although as you can see, the fronts are still pretty worn. It just shows you how much they do wear over the lap, even with my tyre saving that I've been doing. So at this point, I'm just trying to bring it home, not make any mistakes. At this point, I don't care about tyre life. I'm just pushing as hard as I can at the limit of the grip that these tyres have, and use up as much of these tyres as I can to try and keep this lead and bring it home. I'm just a bit conscious of any penalties. If I get any penalty at this point, it's pretty much game over. So coming here to the hairpin, I think it's turn number 9. This is one of the corners I was a bit worried about just because of where the tyres are worn. Get a really good run through there, so not too concerned. As I come around to the final sector, this is really where the race could end for me. I've actually pulled a half a second more of a gap to Rex. So I'm gaining time pushing at the moment and coming through the last few corners, just trying not to run wide, try not to run onto any of these surfaces and bring it home. But at this point, unless I make a grave error, there's no way he can catch me at this point. So coming here out of the final corner, down the last straight, it's going to be a P3, and I was pretty... I don't know how I felt about this result, to be honest. Like, it was my first podium in the pros, and I should be quite happy with that. It was a good race, but I think it was really just some mistakes from some of these faster guys that caused it to happen. Obviously, Bummy couldn't manage those tyres, and Bowers with his mess up with his tyres at the start of the race put him down into P number 12. So he was on for a win, or at least a podium, and unfortunately ends up down the bottom. So yeah, it was a good result in hindsight. Pretty happy with the result. As I said, my first podium in the Pro Series, and it was a bit of a confidence boost here just to know that I actually was pretty competitive in this league. And yeah, hopefully I can have a few more of these good results. As we look here to the final standings, Snoopy won the race, Dixie in second, and myself in third. Corbin finished 7th, so he actually managed to hold out in that 7th position. Had a decent gap to Jobby there, and yeah, a good finish from him. He started P13 and ended P7. Could have been a P6, but I mean, one position isn't the biggest deal. He still had a really good race, gaining 5 spots or 6 spots. So yeah, really good result from him. Unfortunately, with that spin, badge ended up all the way down in P13, so really unfortunate. He actually managed to come back from it regardless. So yeah, good on him for sticking it out and driving. With that spin, it happened so early in the race, and yeah, it's very easy to just want to rage quit, but he stuck it out. And yeah, had an okay result given given what happened to him, but yeah, it's going to sting a little bit. And he's only got a couple more races in this season. He's had to decide to pull out, so he'll be unfortunately leaving us in a couple races time. So yeah, we'll be sorely missed. But so far this season, I've had a third, a fifth, and a ninth. So not like the most consistent of finishes, but a couple of decent finishes, P5 and P3. I think with the Blue Moon race, it was just the car struggled on that track, and I don't know if I could have done much more to be more competitive. But fortunately, there are drop rounds, so the worst result will get dropped. So hopefully, I don't get a worse finish than a P9. And yeah, if that's my drop round, then I'm pretty happy. So yeah, decent result. I guess we'll just have to see if I can keep up the good finishes for the next round, which is at Grand Valley. It's the full track in reverse, which a lot of people did not like, but I actually enjoyed it in that direction. It's a lot easier to take some of these corners, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens that race, and hopefully can have a good result. But so I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully the next one will be out pretty soon, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.